not easy to make that determination to decide between the 9-to-5 paycheck and this thing called acting that, you know, most parents didn't believe was going to be fruitful. How did you guys decide this is what I want to do for a career?
Oh, sure, I'll start. So, being a nice Jewish boy from Bergen County, of course I was going to be a doctor or a lawyer. But I did chorus and stuff in grade school, and when I was in grade school, did the high school plays. When I was in high school, I did community theater, and I was going to be a lawyer, because that's what you're going to do. And when I got to, I went to Amherst, and I was doing West Side Story, and found myself being involved in a way that I'd never been before in theater.
For me, getting in the business, I actually, like I said, I was working in the technology industry, and I was actually going door to sell internet services, and I knocked on the door of this talent agency, and they said, hey, you know, we're lacking like your type. We could definitely put you to work. So I said, yeah, I'll try it, and did a couple of commercials with them, and then I actually started to pursue it further and actually worked on a movie that I, you know, got on my own. The first movie I worked on was just as an extra. I was on Out of Time with Denzel Washington, and I was down in Florida, and actually just seeing the whole movie process come together, I got bit by the bug then immediately. So I started to pursue it more. I started to train. Then I actually moved back to New York. You know, I started to go to Stella Adler and work with different coaches. I actually have worked with Geoffrey before. He's an excellent acting coach. You know, so you know, and I'm still training always, constantly. It's a ever learning process.
I was going to play the wife of a transgender inmate, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I looked at the material, and I was like, wow, this is fantastic. We're actually really going to do this. The first thing I asked my agent was, okay, who is the guy playing this role? And he called me back. He's like, it's actually not a guy. It's a transgender actress. And her name is Laverne Cox. And I said, oh, so I just want to read everything about, you know, who this person is. And I ended up getting the part, and very, very, very excited that Jodie Foster was going to be directing the first episode that I was in, and it was a really terrific experience.
What's funny is I almost played Laverne Cox as what she was as a man before she had the operation.
But people are always like, you know, but you're an actor. Acting is actually about telling the truth. So if you look on the screen and you see something that an actor's doing and that actor is good, I think that what people are really saying is that there's something authentic that's resonating with me on that person on the screen. And they call it good. But it's really that this person is just telling the truth. And
when you said research the casting director, it has to go a little bit further than that. You need to research the producers, the writers, and look at their writing style and delivery of the writing and how they've done things in the past. Also, watch the shows, research the characters, because if you're not, you know, I hear a lot of actors always say that, oh, I don't watch television. I always say, well, that's why you're not on it. Because you're not watching the shows and understanding the characters. Because I actually went to an audition recently where I saw like 4 actors go in before me. The walls were so thin so I can hear everything. And they didn't really understand who the characters were, and the delivery was also, so the casting director had to record it like 4 or 5 times because she had to keep explaining to them.